Well, welcome to Father and Son, except Son's not here today. He's got some important engagement. Well, on the sporting front, the Blues came back from the dead last weekend and beat Richmond. Richmond's performance is lamentable. They've lost 3 games, the last 3 games by less than a goal. I think they might win this week. Carlton's got a big game against the Swans. If we can get over that, we'll certainly make the 8. We can lose 1 game and still make the 8. And then we've had the start of the Olympic Games. What a wonderful opening show it was. The opening ceremony was very good. I think the game's been very successful, but not very successful for Australia. I mean, our swimming team has been appalling. And Susie O'Neill reckons they haven't been trained up to scratch, haven't been tough enough on their training. Very disappointing. We've had 1 gold medal from swimming, which is it's the first time since Montreal that we haven't had an individual person win a gold medal. We've got the athletics, couple of chances there coming up, and hopefully we'll pick up a few in the cycling and the sailing, but it looks like it's going to be a fairly ordinary Olympic Games for Australia, and that's after we've poured extra millions into this. A lot of money gone into the Olympic Games out of Australia, and clearly we're not going too well. On the another front, I just wanted to talk a little bit about, I was down and talking to the Victorian Farmers Federation last week, and there's a lot of discussion now about whether or not the Chinese should be able to purchase agricultural land. I think it's absolutely crucial. Australia has a great opportunity to expand our agricultural production, and if we don't give the Chinese opportunities to own some of our land, then they'll go elsewhere. They'll go to Africa or they'll go to South America. And the reaction of some farmers is pathetic, because in the end, if a farmer sells his farm, he's going to get a much higher price from the Chinese, because they're only looking for a 3 or 4% return, and that puts the price of all agricultural land up at a time when demand for agricultural products out of this country is expanding. Obviously, if the dollar falls away, that means the US has to recover. I think agriculture's in for a pretty good time, particularly dairying, which is what I was talking about last week to the VFF up at Kyabram, because we saw Japan, after the Second World War, embrace Western foods, and they became our biggest purchaser of dairy products. The same thing is happening in China today, and China has had a lot of problems with their own domestic supply of dairy products, and they really want to get more and more from Australia. And I think Australia is going to have a wonderful dairy industry for the next 10, 15, 20 years. So it looks very prosperous for dairying, in my view. Water, there was a very good article in the Australian last Friday which talked about the fact that we have a lot of water in northern Australia. I've had an engineering study done to suggest what it might cost to shift water from northern Australia into the headwaters of the Murray-Darling, the Darling River, and it looks like it's somewhere about 20 billion, and they want to take out 2,700 gigalitres out of the system at the moment with the current plan. Off the top estimate by these engineers is there's probably 3,300 that could be put into the system. That would mean we'd have to have no reduction in irrigation anywhere along the Murray-Darling Basin, and we'd in fact have maybe 600 gigalitres of extra water for irrigation, probably out of Queensland, be given to Queensland or New South Wales, because that will be the source of the water. Got to get some more work done on this, but I think it could be a great long-term solution. Well, I haven't got much more to talk about. We had a wonderful time down in Hobart, celebrating Sir Henry Jones's 150th birthday. Got a lot of press in Tassie, but not much on the mainland. Never do. There's not much to write about in Tasmania. But I've been there 3 times in the last 2 weeks doing gigs. So I've still got plenty of time for more gigs as the football clubs get closer to the finals. I'm available to speak. Well, that's it for this week. We'll be back next week, and Tom will be here. Thank you.